One thing I'm interested in is the early Italian metal scene in the 80s.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, Bulldozer was one of the very first to play sort of a more extreme version of metal.
It was the very first in Italy, and maybe one of the very first in Europe too. Because if you consider Venom started in maybe 81, 82, then we recorded our first single in 83 and released in 84, and our first single was released the same period of Hellhammer.
Okay, all right.
So it was reviewed in the same issue of Rank.
Okay, all right.
And the reviewer said the two singles were the worst ever. A lot of time we have been very criticized by the press in UK and Germany.
What do you think that is?
I don't know. Maybe I have no idea.
Because I was thinking about some of the subject matter of the songs might, for some people, seem strange. You know, like you have a lot about sex, like and porn stars and things like that.
Yeah, I was making fun of some, real events. You know, for example, we dedicated the song to Ilona Staller. And after 6 months, she became a member of the Italian Parliament. So she was a big event in Italy and maybe in Europe. But we could see her before she was getting very famous, because we noticed she was a very special person. It was not just a porn star. She was very intelligent. And she was giving very, let's say, strange messages about freedom, about prejudice, about many things, but moral things. And she was criticizing the hypocrisy of many politicians, And for this reason, one party decided to include her in their list, and she had been elected because the people was tired of hypocrisy of politicians. So she became, and she could tell new things to the people. And of course, maybe for the UK press and the German press, that was really strange, to talk about a porn star. But she was not an object. She was a real person, an intelligent person. So I think many times I've been misunderstood. But for example, the Italian press knew the situation, so they never criticized me because they understood what was going on, But I think after some years they realized I was, writing about, for example, another song which had been really badly criticized was Misogynist. And of course that's a joke. That's not a song you have to take it literally or seriously. It's a joke. So everybody understood it in Italy, and they laughed. And but for some reason in England and in Germany they criticized. They said, "Oh, what is this? This is fascist. This is Nazi." I said, "Come on, that's I'm not fascist. I'm not Nazi. Not at all." And everybody understood this. So I think there was a different culture. So some crazy messages had been misunderstood, but of course they realized I was joking after many years. So many people said, we criticized you, but we did not understand. So,
I listened to it for the first time recently, and I understand it as a parody about misogynists.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's a parody, of course.
Right.
100%.
Yeah, and but still, I think your subject matter, I think that was very especially in that era, I mean, most of the thrash band was like death, destruction, and you were taking this, like, you had a humorous side.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it was different, you know, and maybe was not very successful for that, you know. But for example, in Japan, we had a lot of fans who really appreciated this way of writing, and we got many fans. In some countries, we have been accepted, you know, and our crazy lyrics have been taken in the right way.
Neurodeliri is, I mean, the first track on that album is actually quite black metal, but it's in 88, and it's like the fast kind of black metal which came after that.
That was maybe something new. And I want to tell you something else. In, I don't know the year, but I was already retired, and Mayhem, you know, from Norway, they came to Milano, and they really wanted to meet me, but I was away, so I couldn't see them. And I know the singer had a Neurodeliri t-shirt, so for sure they have been influenced by Neurodeliri. Yeah. Neurodeliri is really revolutionary album, because we introduced a very high speed, and we introduced strange keyboards, you know, with a sampled symphonic sound. Yeah. So we invented something which has been, at the moment, nobody cared about it. So everybody else said, yeah, this is good, blah, blah, blah. Very warm reaction. But after 2-3 years, some bands told, even you know, Behemoth from Poland. Yeah. They have been inspired also by Vader also. We had many fans who became more famous than Bulldozer.
Did you have to go to the army or what was it?
Yeah, I had problem with the army because when we formed, I was studying, and I postponed my army, and when I signed with Roadrunner, I was to be called by the army maybe within 1 month, maybe within 2 years. I didn't know, and they never told me when. Okay. So I could not play abroad. Bulldozer could not promote live, and I also decided to make, I don't know in English, maybe when you refuse to join the army, and in this case they send you to some compulsory work, but not as a military.
You have the same thing as civil service.
Yeah, civil service. That's correct. That's correct. So I made 20 months of civil service, and
20 months.
20 months.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I know. If military, only 12. If civil service, 20 months, because they want to punish you. Now, nothing.
All right. Okay.
It's not more compulsory.
Well, then you broke up in about 91, 92 or something.
1990. Yeah. We made the last concert in Milano. Yeah.
Okay. All right. But then 2008, you regrouped, right? And what was the reason for that? The main reason?
Actually, we had many reasons why we separated. But mostly we didn't like the new wave of metal, you know. Not much. We really liked, you know, the early Motorhead, early AC/DC, early Tank, and you know, the very old school. Everything was turning into something different, and actually we didn't like it, so we decided to quit. I think in 2005 some fans decided to create a website, and some record company decided to re-release our album. The new generation really appreciated what we did in the past. We realized that we had more fans in 2007 than in the 80s. So we had many requests, please reform, and but we are not ready, you know. And then I realized that there was a prophecy on the sleeve, on the cover of the Ninth Circle of Hell.
Yeah.
And I said, maybe it's time to come back, and I decided to come back.
Okay.
So I called and they said, why don't we try to reform? Maybe we try to do something, you know, to recreate the original Bulldozer sound. And so Andy took out the tapes when he recorded a lot of ideas he composed in 89 and 90 for the another album of Bulldozer, which never came out. You know. Then we decided to use those songs because they were composed in the period when we were in activity.
That explains why Unexpected Faith actually sounds a lot like the 80s. But you also, I think you also sound-wise tried to get that because the production is very old school. It's not modern.
Yeah, at all. I totally agree. We decided to use original instruments and acoustic drums. No modern sound, no sampled sound, no, you know, even the guitar we used very old amp, very old guitar. We used only the new microphones and new recording technologies, but we used everything from the 80s. That's why it sounds very old. It's definitely old school album. The problem is, if you are, you know, a modern band, of course you can use modern sound, you know, because that's your period. But if you are a band from the 80s, I think you should keep your identity. And I don't know. That's my opinion. So we tried to keep our identity.
I noticed that you don't play bass anymore. You have another bassist. Yeah, you just do vocals.
That's correct. The problem is we want to write different bass part when we recorded Unexpected Fate, and that parts are quite difficult to play while you sing. The problem is the rhythm of bass is not the same rhythm of vocal, so I have some trouble in playing the new songs, so I decided to be only singer.
Okay.
That's the main reason.
And then you decided also be like Anton LaVey.
I don't know.
Or some kind of Mephisto.
I don't know. This is that's my character. You know?
Okay, all right.
I just invented my haircut. Some, you know, the pulpit, the bloody pulpit. Like a kind of strange priest preaching. You know. That's funny. You know.
It's a new thing. You didn't do it in the 80s.
No, I was in the 80s. I was playing like Lemmy, you know.
All right. Okay.
Bass and or Camaraya or whatever. Also, my hair, you know, I lost maybe 70% of my hair, you know, because I'm getting old and bald. So I had to change something. But so I still keep my voice, and at least I want to keep, you know, what remains of me. I want to keep it. So this is new AC, you know.
One thing that is pretty, when I read about your biography, is that was sort of strange for me, is that you've worked as a producer for Italo disco and J-pop and all that.
That's not 100% true. I mean, I worked since 1989. I started working as a publisher.
Okay.
And I was taking care of publishing of a big company, including Metal Master, which released bands like Bulldozer, the Death SS, you know, the main Italian band. And I was in charge also for the publishing. Then I decided to create my own publishing, and I happened to work very close to big Japanese record company. So as a publisher, I published thousands of tracks many different kinds, mainly dance, J-pop, but I published also classic music, jazz music, metal, you know, many different kind of music. So I was not, you know, composing a dance song or producing a studio dance song.
Right.
Maybe I was visiting the producer, you know, and maybe just exchanging some ideas, you know. We also created for fun a new style of techno dance with the metal, and actually we inspired the Prodigy. We made
really?
Yeah, I can tell you for sure. I created a project with Andy, which was made for fun. It was called Dance Got Sick.
Yeah.
Then the producer made new tracks in the same style, and the artist had been invited at Alex Rave, which was the greatest rave and techno festival in Japan ever, with 50,000 people at the Tokyo Dome.
Right.
And our artist performed a very aggressive song with guitar, heavy metal guitar, and rap, and very aggressive techno. And Prodigy was there too, and they were producing very soft techno.
Okay.
After they saw us, their techno became very aggressive. Just 1 month later.
Yeah. Okay.
So I know 100% they copied from Dance Got Sick and that kind of.
Okay.
You know, that's not something I'm proud of that, because it's just a joke. But
Okay.
okay, from the business point of view, was good.
Yeah, but
Definitely.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.